Today is Sunday, March 25th, 2018, and I am currently 3 years post-op from having gastric sleeve surgery. I had my surgery on March 25th, 2015. 3 years, guys. It's been 3 years. It's been a while since I've been in a video, and I'm very sorry. It's been a long time. I got a lot of stuff to catch you guys up on. I kind of just stopped doing videos. I don't know why, just one day I stopped. So I thought since it was the 3-year anniversary that I would do one. I'll kind of talk with you guys about where I'm at today, some of the side effects that I'm still experiencing, how I've, some of those habits that I created whenever I had my surgery that I'm still keeping up, and give you guys an update on what's going on in the life of Amy. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened. I am officially married. We got engaged in July, not last year, but the year before, and we got married. We actually eloped last April. It was a beautiful wedding. We got married overlooking Red River Gorge. It was just our parents there and my sister and her family. It was gorgeous. I mean, it was magical. I couldn't have asked for a better wedding. And we went to Disney World on our honeymoon. I had a lot of anxiety, before we were going there about, am I going to fit in on the rides? What's going to happen? But I fit. Everything was great. We had a great time. We had a lot of steps in that weekend. That week that we were there. But we just went. We were kids again, and we loved it. We enjoyed it. I married Jason, who I've talked about in my videos quite a bit. If you've watched any of my previous videos, Jason was with me before I had my surgery. Was with me at my highest weight, and now he's married to me, stuck with me. So the lowest weight point where I was at was 220 pounds. I started out at about 375, so I got down to 220, and I've actually gained weight. And that's okay. I'm not sad about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm not hard on myself. I've actually gained about 40 pounds, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I kind of stopped doing what the doctors told me to do. So it's 1,000% my fault. It has nothing to do with anything that anybody has done. It's all me. I didn't quite exercise as much as I had been, and I kind of got into some bad habits, but I'm going to talk through all that with you guys in a little bit. But I have gained about 40 pounds from my lowest, and that's okay. It kind of went through some psychological stuff in the beginning with gaining the weight, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna get it off. I'm gonna start working towards some new goals. So that's where I'm at. I was down to 220, and I'm about 260 now. So it's okay. Amy's not upset about it. I still love myself. So yeah. So what else has been going on? Well, I have a beautiful nephew in my life now, Harmon. I love him to death. And we moved. We moved closer to family. Well, closer to my family. We were in Indiana before, and now we're in Kentucky. So we are officially in the Bluegrass State. And I'm very close to my family, and I love it. So Jason and I moved down here a couple months before we got married. So we're in Kentucky now. Unfortunately, moving, I'm not able to be part of my St. Francis family anymore, which I think also contributes to me gaining the weight. I had a support group. I had a family up there of other sleevers and folks who had the Rowan-Y, and I didn't go to support groups when I moved to Lexington, and I think that contributed to my weight gain as well. So I do miss my St. Francis family in Indiana, so I think that kind of contributed to it. I am still doing triathlons, love them. I did one last year with everything we had going on with the wedding and moving and the honeymoon, and then we had a reception for all of our friends and family after we came back. I only got one triathlon in last year. I didn't video it. It was my second one. It wasn't as big deal as the first one, but I did end up playing first in my division. I race Athena, which is for women who weigh over 165 pounds. So when I do race that. I do have a race coming up in July. That's really the only one that I have on the schedule, but I may do another one in September. So I got to get back into racing and into the gym. Okay, so what's life like as a sleeper 3 years later, 3 years post-op? I do know that they're changing the programs. From what I hear, I've actually had a really good friend who just went through the surgery. She lives in a different state, not in Indiana or Kentucky. And some of the things that she was telling me was like, wow, you're already able to do this or do that. Like, her program skips the puree stage. But for me, some of the things that is still the same is I don't drink through a straw, which I think they're actually changing that on the programs, but I still choose not to drink through a straw. I still stay cold all the time. I mean, it could be in the summertime and 80 degrees out and I'll be cold. I'm cold right now. Like I'm just sitting in my office and it's so cold. So I stay cold and I get cold quite often. I'm still wearing an undershirt because I do have some hanging skin and sagging skin. I chose not to have any kind of skin removal surgery. I'm not there. I didn't lose enough weight, in my opinion, to kind of have that. So I haven't had any type of skin removal. I do follow quite a few people on Instagram who have lost a significant amount of weight and they did do the skin removal, but I chose not to do it. I still have it and I still wear those undershirts that I talk about in one of my previous videos. I wear them every day and they're almost like a part of me now. Like they're kind of like my little security blanket. So I have still been wearing that undershirt. It's still hard. I can't drink during a meal. Sometimes I'll have like a couple sips of water or maybe a cup of coffee either after my meal or before my meal, but trying to eat and drink at the same time, it still doesn't work for me. When I eat certain foods or drink certain things, I still kind of have that gurgling sound in my stomach and that happens pretty often. I don't know if it's a digestion thing, but when I eat, sometimes I still have that kind of gurgling thing. I have decided to not eat red meat. That was part of the program that I was in. Is they told you not to eat red meat for the first 6 months, and I have kind of decided to live that lifestyle. So I live a pescatarian lifestyle, which means I only eat fish, anything from the sea, basically. So thankfully, again, still no, I'm not lactose intolerant, which is common after surgeries. Thank God I'm not that because I love my ice cream and I love my milk. So I have chosen to just not eat the red meat. I'm also still caffeine free. That was something that they told us, until you're about 6 months post-op to not do the caffeine. I still don't drink caffeine. If there's caffeine in my food, so what? I don't care. But I don't drink caffeinated beverages. I also still don't drink any kind of soda, anything that is carbonated. I don't drink it. I think 2 years ago, I tried to drink some soda that Jason had at a hockey game, and it didn't work for me. I haven't tried it lately. I don't want to because I'm afraid if I try it, I'll want it. So I only really drink water and lemonade, vitamin water, Powerade Zero, milk. I drink a lot of milk. I drink juices, but I still cut them in half. So if I drink an apple juice, I'll drink half apple juice, half water. So I still continue to drink those beverages. I've been really bad about getting my protein in. I haven't drank a lot of protein shakes. I used to drink like 2 a day and it was delicious, but I haven't had any in a while. I'm trying to get myself back into them. I still do like the Pure Protein and the Nectar. Those are my 2 favorite brands, Pure Protein and Nectar. Pure Protein just came out with a peaches and cream and it's so good. I have some of that in the fridge right now. But those are my 2 again, Pure Protein and Nectar. Those are the 2 that I like to drink. I still stay away from the carbonation. I'm still taking vitamins just like we're supposed to be. I have had low iron, and they're probably contributing that to the red meat. I've also had low vitamin D. Those have really been the two vitamin deficiencies that I've come across. Is the iron. I'm on a pill that I take 3 times a day, which also increases my appetite, which kind of makes me hungry all the time, so I have to manage that. They talk a lot, well, my program talked a lot about addiction post-surgery, which is why they tell you to kind of avoid certain things, like no smoking, no drinking, all that, no caffeine. Once I started introducing sweets back into my life, I became addicted to them. I love gummies, and they're very hard to digest for me. But once I started eating gummies like Swedish Fish or Sour Patch Kids or stuff like that, once I introduced them to my body instantly craved them. So, I mean, I was eating a bag of Sour Patch Kids in a day, probably why I gained 40 pounds. Right now, my big thing is hot tamales. So, as I introduced those sugars back into my diet, my body started craving them, and I became addicted to them. So be very cautious, be very careful of that. I need to detox and get rid of those sugars and stuff out of my body, but it happened. I became addicted to them, so be very careful. Be very careful of that. So yeah. What else can I tell you guys? I guess I'm gonna say cold all the time. Those are kind of the food things that I have. I made a little list. I'm going to read through my list here to see if there was anything else. Moved, married, all kinds of fun stuff. Like I said, I had a very close friend who had the surgery recently, and it's been fun kind of listening to her and talking to her a little bit about, you know, her going through, you know, the first week and then the first 2 weeks and kind of what it's been like what she's excited about. They're introducing foods into her diet fairly quickly, again, versus what I went through. But so yeah, so that's me. I'm still living the sleeve life. I can probably eat about a cup and a half, maybe, in one sitting. So I've stretched my stomach out beyond that 1 cup. Maybe not quite a cup and a half, but still I can eat 1 slice of pizza and I'm done. I think it just kind of depends on what I'm eating and what time of day it is, and if I've had a lot to drink, and a lot of liquids beforehand. So I still have Lucy, my little dog, that some of you may remember from my previous video. She's going to be 13 this year, so she's a grumpy old lady. So yeah, 3 years and I'm still doing well and still have some of the same kind of quirks and side effects that I had before, but it's good talking to you guys again. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and if you have any questions, post them and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So bye guys.